They say dogs don't understand loneliness, but I do. I've counted every night, every bark that wasn't answered, every door that never opened. People came and left. Some looked at me, most didn't. And when hope finally broke, I did the only thing I knew how to do. I dug my own grave. This isn't just a true emotional dog story. It's the story of what happens when no one comes, and love shows up too late. This is a true emotional dog story about a shelter dog who lost faith in people. They called me Ghost because I didn't bark, didn't wag, didn't beg. I just watched the others get taken home, one after another. Some were sick, some were mean, but all of them had something I didn't, someone who wanted them. I was the abandoned dog, the one who sat in the back corner. The staff said I was good but distant. People want happy dogs. They want wagging tails and bright eyes. No one wants the quiet ones, the ones who've seen too much. I had stopped eating weeks before they noticed. I wasn't hungry anymore. I just wanted the noise to stop. The cages, the barking, the smell of fear. I wanted peace. So one rainy night when no one was watching, I slipped out into the yard. The mud was soft. The earth gave way easily under my paws. I started to dig, slow at first, then faster. It felt right, safe, warm, like a place that belonged to me. By morning, they found me lying there, half covered in dirt, still breathing. I hadn't died. I'd just stopped trying to live. But sometimes, that's the exact moment life decides to start over. Do you have a dog? Tell us in the comments what their name is and what breed they are. We read every single one, and this channel wouldn't exist without you and them. If you love emotional dog stories that remind us how deeply animals feel, hit subscribe. It's free, and it helps us keep their stories alive. I don't remember when I stopped looking at the door. Maybe after the third family walked past my cage without stopping. Maybe after the last volunteer said, "He's a good boy, just broken." They all said the same thing: good dog, quiet dog, too old, too sad. At first I thought I was doing something wrong. When people walked by, I'd stand, wag my tail, even bark a little. But they always chose someone else. The loud ones, the cute ones, the ones with big eyes and soft fur. Me? I was just there. The unwanted dog story no one wanted to hear again. Days turned into weeks, then months. I learned not to get up anymore. When they brought food, I waited until night to eat. When new dogs came, I didn't even look. I wasn't angry. I was tired. One night, a storm hit. The wind howled through the shelter, shaking the walls. The others barked in panic, but I stayed quiet. Rain dripped through a crack in the ceiling, pooling under my paws. I pressed my head against the floor and felt the cold. It felt like the only honest thing left in the world. That's when I noticed the back gate had come loose. I walked out. No one stopped me. No one even noticed. The yard smelled of wet soil. It wasn't freedom I felt. It was silence. I found a patch of dirt near the edge of the fence and started digging. At first I didn't know why. Maybe because digging was the only thing that ever made sense. The sound of my paws in the mud drowned everything else out. The world disappeared. It was just me, the earth, and the hole I was making. It grew deeper each night. I didn't dig to escape. I dug to belong somewhere, even if it was underground. When they found me the next morning, I was lying in that hole, my head resting on the edge like a pillow. They thought I wanted to die, but that wasn't it. I wasn't trying to end anything. I was just tired of waiting for something to begin. A week later, she came. Not a volunteer, not a visitor. She didn't wear gloves, didn't talk loud. She just stood there, looking at me through the bars. "Hey," she said quietly, "you look like you've been waiting a long time." Her scent was calm, rain and soap. She came every day that week, sat by the fence reading out loud from a book she carried. Her voice didn't sound like pity. It sounded like home. Then one morning she brought a leash. I didn't move when she opened the cage. She didn't rush me, just waited. After a while, I stood up, slowly. The first step out of that pen felt like stepping into light after years of shadow. At her house, Everything was quiet, too quiet, the kind that makes your thoughts loud. I didn't eat much. I didn't explore. I just sat by the door, again. She noticed. "Old habits die hard, huh?" she said with a small smile. She started taking me outside every evening. The air smelled different, real. Sometimes she talked, sometimes she didn't, but her silence felt safe. One night she walked me to the backyard. The ground was soft after rain. I went to the same spot every time, near the fence, and started to dig. She watched quietly. When I stopped, she knelt beside me. "Still building that grave?" she asked gently. I looked at her, then back at the hole, and for the first time I wagged my tail, because it wasn't a grave anymore. It was a garden. She had planted flowers there, daisies, small and white. Weeks passed. I started sleeping inside by her bed. The nightmares didn't come as often. The ache in my chest slowly faded into something softer. She once whispered while brushing my fur, "You're not a shelter dog anymore. You're home." I didn't understand every word, but I understood the tone, the same tone my first owner used long ago. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't a sad dog story. This was a rescue dog story with a twist. The hole I dug wasn't where I wanted to end. It was where life started again. Now, when I walk by that garden, I stop and stare for a moment. The flowers move in the wind, and I can almost hear her voice. "You're safe now." And maybe I am, because even the most broken dogs don't dig graves. They dig second chances.